What do you make of his style? What type of fight are we going to expect to see?
賢く頭を使って最後は KO する瞬間をお見せしたいと思います。
I'll fight in a smart way and then I'll finish it with a knockout.
Do you think you and Inoue finally getting in there, that's a fight that will define this era in the lower weight classes?
I think so. I think me against Inoue would definitely be, if not one of the biggest fights in the lower weight divisions.
When the dust settles, you know, real recognized real, game recognized game. When the dust settles, who do you think is going to be standing? And everyone in boxing, respect to Nakatani and some others, but they see you and they see the monster, and it just looks different. You two look like different kinds of animals than everybody else. And that's really what super fights and eras are about. The dust settles, two guys are left standing. When you survey the landscape, is the monster that guy for you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people have been mentioning that fight even before I became who I am today. So I know when that fight does happen, it's going to be huge for the sport of boxing.
まあその先というのは今何も話はないので、あとはスーパーバンタム級にとどまってやるのか、一つ階級上げてチャレンジするのか、多分そこになってくるんで。まあ、ただ自分としては、フェザー級挑戦というのも、まあ一つ頭に入れてるので、まあそういったところに挑戦していけたら、またこう、フェザー級が活気づいていくんじゃないかなと。
Max Kellerman has now entered the discussion, revealing the latest deadline Inoue has established for a potential showdown with Bam, while making it clear that he would not be willing to wait on Bam indefinitely.
Basically, you're not the toughest matchup for me.
I said stylistically.
You say Devin Haney.
I said stylistically. But when I watch you, I get the feeling like I'm watching history. Look at that. Bang! Bang! Too loud. Bang! Bang!
Inside the ring, baby.
The ring's #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, the monster, Naoya Inoue, said he will only fight Jesse Bam Rodriguez if the bout takes place before February 2027. Inoue says he won't delay his career waiting for Bam, and that if Bam wants more time at bantamweight before accepting the fight won't happen.
Put the pressure on him, Max!
Inoue will move up to featherweight. Cop, let me just say this. If Inoue goes up to featherweight and eventually beats Espinoza, or even better, if he stays where he is, fights and beats Bam, and then moves up to featherweight and eventually beats Espinoza,
Conversation over.
now we start to talk about who's the greatest fighter ever who spent his career featherweight and below.
Adding to the discussion, Mike Coppinger reported that Inoue versus Bam is being targeted for a specific date.
And Inoue will be on a very short list and maybe at #1.
I agree with that.
I mean,
like, this is insane.
Let me ask you this also. If he does that, is it the Terrence Crawford era or is it the Inoue era? Because that would be really special stuff.
Would that be considered coming after Crawford?
That's a good question.
But then the question is in retrospect, where should they have been? I just can't pick against Crawford.
No, I get that.
Let's not even do that.
Look, it's my understanding that the fight is going to happen in February. That's the plan, is for the fight to happen in Tokyo. It's a big, big fight. And I respect that of Inoue. This is why he's one of the all-time greats. He's not going to wait around. He's not going to fight cupcakes waiting around for Bam. So I think Bam wants to be great too.
And also, Inoue never ducks the smoke against the toughest guys in the division.
Ever.
Right.
There's so many fighters, and I would consider great fighters.
On the other side, Bam Rodriguez has made it equally clear that he is ready for a war, fully determined to show that he deserves a place at the very top of boxing's pound-for-pound rankings.
And that could be the fight that catapults you to that #1 spot.
I believe so. We were just talking about that yesterday. By the time the fight happens between me and Inoue, I think Inoue will be #1. I'll be #2 or #3. So for that fight to happen, top 3 pound for pound, I think winning that fight will put me at #1.
Backing Rodriguez, Shakur Stevenson believes Bam could be Inoue's kryptonite, arguing that Rodriguez has the style, speed, and overall skill set necessary to disrupt and defeat the Japanese champion.
I like Bam. I can't go against Bam. I know Bam, and Bam, my guy. I think Inoue is a great fighter, but I think Bam might be his kryptonite. I seen him get dropped by a southpaw, and I think Bam punched hard enough where he could drop.
Recent developments involving this potential fight have sparked major excitement throughout the boxing world. Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez have both now weighed in with their opinions on the matchup. Haney believes that if there is anyone capable of genuinely challenging Inoue, it is Bam. He sees Rodriguez as the fighter who could push Inoue more than any other opponent, making this one of the most competitive fights currently available for the Japanese superstar.
To keep moving up until he loses, right? If he stays where he is and you look south and you look who could beat him, the other guy who's just different is Bam, right?
Nice.
Bam is the other guy who's just different. How does Bam do against the monster?
I think that's the only fight I would want to see anyway is a Bam Rodriguez fight. I think Bam has the most ability to test Inoue. I think he has speed, he has angles, he has IQ. I think that that's a fight I would love to see.
How about you, Tail?
Yeah, to follow what Devin's point is, I think honestly we'll see the most technique out of Bam and Inoue when they face each other, if that is to come about.
However, Max Kellerman emphasizes that everything Bam brings into the ring says a lot about his toughness, talent, and competitive mindset. Still, he believes the weight difference could play a crucial role in this matchup, particularly if Rodriguez has to withstand Inoue's power and natural physical strength. Bam might have the speed and technical skills to cause problems, but stepping up against a naturally larger puncher could make every exchange much more difficult and demanding.
And definitely one that is a super fight.
Given how many tough fights Inoue's been in, and how young Bam is, and how well he boxes as a southpaw, I would be like, yeah, Bam's gonna do it, except that he's the smaller guy coming up. He doesn't have a very long reach. If he was a long fighter like you, I'd be like, I think Bam maybe beats him. This, to me, is like a pick'em kind of fight, because if anyone has a size, it's in a way with a size advantage, right?
You have to move 2 weight classes up, right?
Two weight classes. Bam, man, Bam's special, man. He's special. He moves extremely well. He can box, IQ. He's
and he can
quick.
punch. They don't call him Bam for
twitchy.
he can't punch.
And I know he's from San Antonio. You can't tell me he ain't spent no time in Houston. He moved like a...
Teofimo Lopez has pointed out weaknesses in Inoue's performance from his latest fight against Nakatani, suggesting there are certain openings that Bam could potentially take advantage of against the Japanese champion. Meanwhile, Max Kellerman stresses that Inoue's punching power remains a serious concern for Rodriguez. At the same time, Kellerman believes Inoue must remain cautious as he continues moving through the weight divisions, where the physical challenges become considerably more demanding.
Only that, I think that when you look back at Inoue and Nakatani was picking up in the later rounds.
He was.
8, 9, 10 round, he was catching on. And that also shows a little bit of whether it's fatigue or leverage for Bam, if that was to be the case.
Yeah.
Pick up on that.
I mean,
He don't move like Bam, though. That makes sense?
He goes in, angles, everything, pivots.
We've seen that if you hit Inoue clean, he can go down. Yes, he will go down.
Yep.
So I want to see when Bam touches him, what happens?
And every time he gets knocked down, it's always like the same punch, hand down, boom.
The other thing about Inoue, though, that let's not forget is he was a devastating knockout puncher in the lighter weight classes. The reason he doesn't look like a devastating knockout puncher now is because he keeps moving up in weight, fighting bigger and...
Speaking about the matchup, Sean Porter believes the differences in size and experience could have an impact on both fighters, though he still favors Inoue. Porter highlights Inoue's timing, power, and ability to make adjustments under pressure as key advantages, suggesting that despite Bam's speed and technical skills, the Japanese champion has the tools needed to come out on top.
That gap in that weight actually does matter. I think that gap in that weight, Inoue being slightly older, more experienced and things like that, I am inclined to favor Inoue in this fight, even though I haven't seen as much Inoue as I've seen Bam. But the reason why I favor is because the age gap, the size gap. That's big for the little guys. And Inoue is a monster. He's a monster. So I think that Inoue would be the favorite, and on the betting odds and the blah 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 blah. And it's a hell of a fight.
Victorious Inoue remains the pound-for-pound #1, but his recent performances have also revealed certain vulnerabilities. Andre Ward points to those weaknesses, particularly what he considers a drop in Inoue's defensive sharpness. According to Ward, the champion has shown that he can be caught, creating an opportunity that Bam could potentially capitalize on. If Rodriguez can repeatedly find those openings, his speed and precision could make Inoue pay.
Inoue is that he can be hit at times. his offense typically is his defense. You don't see Inoue doing a lot of special effects defensively. He's athletic, he's young, he's still very spry, so he can get out of the way, he can pull away, even if it's not a technically sound defensive move. But most of the time, that offense, that firepower, them clips that he's letting off, that's what's keeping guys with their hands at home where they don't want to punch. So he doesn't have to be defensively sound, but he has some big moments against Nakatani. Where Nakatani would landed some clean shots, but it just wasn't enough. Every time Nakatani would try to surge, every time Nakatani would try to have a moment, Naoya Inoue showed why he's one of the pound-for-pound best fighters.
Joining the discussion, Tim Bradley has urged Bam to establish himself first before pursuing a showdown with Inoue. Bradley believes Junto Nakatani is the opponent Rodriguez needs to face, arguing that this fight would reveal whether Bam is genuinely prepared for the highest level. Before stepping in with Inoue, Bam must demonstrate that he can deal with Nakatani's speed, power, and constant pressure.
However, I wouldn't mind seeing Nakatani and Bam Rodriguez. Prove it. Prove yourself. Bam, fight that guy. You guys have been hovering around the same weight class. That guy is a pound for pound guy. You beat that pound for pound guy, then you go after Inoue, right? Inoue beat him. You beat him. Oh, that's a statement. And if you beat him even better, that's a statement. Then, if that happens, then I say, you know what? Bam got a chance. Bam got a chance on the back end. Inoue would be a 1 year older, right? Maybe the end of 2027 or the beginning of 2020.
Bradley does not want Bam to rush into a showdown with Inoue because he believes the timing of the fight is crucial. Inoue has already made it clear that he will not wait indefinitely. According to Bradley, if Bam faces him later, potentially toward the end of 2027, Rodriguez could gain valuable experience, grow stronger physically, and sharpen the skills necessary to give Inoue a much tougher test.
Maybe slow down a bit, a little bit more wear and tear on his body. And Bam, being as young as he is, oh, he'll be ready. He will be ready then, for sure. And I don't think there's no rush in the fight right now. Not right now. I don't think so. So, but again, Turkey Al-Sheikh, he can be a little bit impatient. He can get impatient. And he want what he want, and if he want it now, then he might have to do it because the money's there right now. It might not be there, kind of like with Boots and Virgil. It was there for a minute, and then it vanished real fast. Once Boots was like, nah.
Sharing his perspective, Sergio Mora believes age could become a significant factor if these two eventually meet. Despite Inoue currently holding several advantages, Mora suggests that getting older could gradually impact his performance, particularly from a physical standpoint. As the champion continues progressing through his career, competing at higher weights could put greater stress on his body and potentially diminish some of the advantages he has today.
Inoue is going to be, what, 34 by the time?
A little younger. I think he's 32, 33. I think he's only 31 now. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but he's not going to be 34.
If he starts hitting 34-ish, then I think that's a different story, Mannix. But when you ask me this question with Bam,
he's 33. He just turned 33.
It was last year when you told me that. I said, "Are you crazy? Slap yourself." I think it was 2 years ago when Monster Inoue was just knocking out. He was a wrecking ball. Now I'm starting to evolve and starting to like this because I know what age does to a fighter. No matter how great you are, age will start eroding that power, that speed. And guys like Bam who are ascending, then the next great thing, then they can meet at the right time.
Chris Mannix insists that age is not the only issue to consider. He points to several of Naoya Inoue's performances over the past couple of years that have not matched the dominant level fans had become accustomed to seeing. According to Mannix, those outings suggest Inoue may already be showing slight signs of decline, raising questions about whether he can maintain his best form by the time Bam finally steps into the ring with him.
Or Bam could be the next in line to beat a monster like Inoue. So if he's 34, that's a different story, man.
I think there's something to not just the age, but like I'm anticipating this Nakatani fight to be tough. And if he fights a tough fight against Nakatani, maybe fights Nakatani again. I don't know if it's a great fight. Maybe they run it back before the end of the year. that could be like 20 some on rounds of tough fights for Inoue. Then you're talking about the wear and tear. Fought 4 times last year. Didn't look like, I mean, still won a couple of knockouts, but didn't look like the guy we saw in the lower weight classes. Then maybe you see these two guys meet somewhere in the middle. Their trajectory's going 2 different ways. I get all that. It's got to be next year. I also don't want to see the fight happen when Inoue is like, if he's lost.
Joining the debate, Sean Porter explains why Bam should not rush into a showdown with Inoue at this stage. Porter believes the issue goes beyond age and weight, with the physical size difference also playing a major role. He wants Rodriguez to naturally move up in weight and build more strength before facing Inoue, whom Porter considers a complete fighter with the power, speed, skills, and experience to capitalize on any weakness.
Bam get more experience.
Bam has to have more experience.
That's the number one thing.
He has to have more strength. Let me say this real quick, and now I think we can get out of here. Strength doesn't mean putting on muscle so that you can hit somebody and clock them. There's strength that you need to withstand what you're getting hit with as well. And Bam has to really build his body up a little bit more, getting in the ring with somebody like Inoue, who has both speed, power, quick, who has the total package. I think Bam has the total package, and he's growing into becoming the total package, while Inoue is there now having the total package.
6-year age difference?
Yeah.
6 years.
Let's slow it down.
Furthermore, Porter explains that postponing the fight could ultimately improve Bam's chances of winning. He suggests waiting roughly 2 years, allowing Rodriguez time to develop physically, gain important experience, and reach his full potential. By that point, Porter believes Bam could step into the ring stronger, more mature, and far better equipped to handle everything Inoue brings into the matchup.
Both the guy off the canvas and got the knockout. I love that. So both can be put down, both can be hurt. So we'll see.
That would be a sharp fight. 2 years? Year.
Yeah, 2 years. After 2 years.
I hate to wait 2 years, but I think 2 years is like, now we talking about who's this fight favor. It favors Bam, I think, in 2 years.
Yeah.
Might favor Bam in 2 years, might be 50-50 in a year. And now I think I got 60-40, 55-45.
Looking at how the situation is developing, Bruce Carrington offers his analysis of why Bam could cause major problems for Inoue. Carrington highlights Rodriguez's speed, movement, accuracy, and ability to maintain a high work rate as his biggest weapons. If Bam can force Inoue into uncomfortable exchanges while keeping the pressure constant, Carrington believes he has the tools to make this matchup extremely challenging. In his view, Inoue may not be able to fight with the same level of confidence.
Doesn't fight with the same level of confidence. He's still dangerous. That power, his snappy punches, and his speed is still there. But in terms of like his reaction, his movements, and like I said before, confidence, those are really important, especially up against a dangerous fight like Abdullah Mason, man. Like, he is always dangerous every second of the round, in every round. Like, he's so balanced. Every one of his shots are devastating and with bad intentions. And I don't know if Joe Cordina's punch resistance is good enough to withstand, Abdullah's power. Yeah, man, I was watching Joe Cordina and Gabriel Flores when they fought, and there were certain things that Gabriel Flores was doing. He was being pretty successful early on in the fight, but he ended up taking advantage, throughout the night, and then he got the dub. He got the win over Gabriel Flores. But
as anticipation continues to grow, Andre Rozier points out what he believes could be a critical weakness in Bam Rodriguez's approach to facing Naoya Inoue. The respected trainer questions whether Bam could be stepping into a dangerous trap against boxing's pound-for-pound king. Rozier's warning focuses on the risks of entering such a massive fight before Rodriguez is completely ready, raising an important question. Does Bam have the right game plan to withstand everything Inoue brings into the ring?
That's going to be a good fight. I'd like to see Bam acclimate to a new weight class first instead of jumping right into that fire, because that is real fire there. I mean, you going up, that's some real smoke out of that Japanese. Well, he's a kamikaze. He's going in with guns a-blazing. He's going to cause a Hiroshima up in that ring. Listen, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Who your favorite in that one?
Anyway.
While fans are eager to see these two elite fighters collide, Andre Rozier explains why moving up in weight right now could become a career-defining mistake for Bam. He examines the tactical disadvantages, the possible power difference, and the biggest weakness in Rodriguez's current game plan. According to Rosier, these factors could give Inoue everything he needs to control the action and transform Bam's biggest opportunity into a dangerous trap.
Competitive early, unless he gets in there, Bam gets in there Inoue's actual size and his ability to control that weight is just too much for him. But if Bam can, scale to that next weight class and give us more than what we thought, it'd be a very interesting.
With size, timing, power, and experience all becoming major factors in this potential showdown, the stakes could hardly be higher. Who do you think comes out on top if these two finally fight? Share your prediction in the comments, and subscribe for more explosive boxing updates, detailed breakdowns, and fight news.